children on this planet, but how about you just take care of your own for a change? How about you think about them for a change? How about you stop trying to tear this country down and start rebuilding it and building it back up? There's nothing wrong with wanting to achieve greatness. Liberals, the liberal left, only wants to achieve mediocrity. They think striving for and achieving greatness is arrogance. And it's wrong because it makes others look bad. It makes them feel bad. Well, I don't know if, countries like Belarus feel bad because the United States is, a world superpower, and they're not. I don't think any nation does. They may dislike us for that status, but I don't think they feel bad for themselves because they're not. Plain and simple, this whole notion of hatred for the U.S. stems from the United States liberal left. Plain and simple. I mean, they espouse it, they put it forth, and other people, from other lands, they can see, other governments can see it, and they say, "Look, you see, even you people don't even like you. Why should we like you?" And and look, this is another example of us not liking us. Us not liking our history. Now all of a sudden we want to start changing the faces of our currency. Because the left hates our history. They do. They really hate it. They don't like the freedom that we have. Hey, New York City passes landmark legislation that bans credit checks for most job applicants. Yeah, I don't know if this has this been a problem for a lot of people? I haven't realized this. I didn't know that you could, that a lot of this was, I knew for certain positions or certain job roles, yeah, there was going to be security checks, criminal background checks, credit checks. I got that. There's some, but evidently it's a big thing. And it was so big that the New York City Council passed legislation that bans most employers from discriminating against job applicants and current workers based on credit history. So, if you're I don't know, if you're handling money of any kind from a customer, I guess you can have fraud in your credit report, and they're not going to know. So, and then you're going to hire this person because they look and sound great, and they're going to defraud a customer, and that customer is going to sue you. Not the employee that you hired, but you. All because you couldn't find out and head off a potential problem. I get why some employers do it. Now, are they a little bit too picky? Some of them, yes. But I get why they do it. And now you're taking away a means test for an employer. I'm sorry. Look, if you got bad credit, you got bad credit. Fix it. Well, you need a job in order to fix it. Well, maybe you just need to get a different job that isn't going to do a credit check. That's plain and simple. I mean, I get it. You want a chance. You need a chance, but I get it. I think you should have the opportunity to explain yourself, and and you really need to pay attention to your credit more. And look, I know there are people out there that don't like credit. They don't really have a credit history because they pay for things in cash. I've attempted to live my life more like that. So, if somebody were to pull mine, it'd be very minuscule. There wouldn't be a lot there. But what is there is good, but there's very little of it. I mean, some people just have a long history of it. Some of it's good, have long history of good. Some people have a mixed long history, and some people have a long history of bad. That's fine too. That's the way you want to live your life. But to tell an employer that you're taking away a tool for them to screen potential employees for a number of different reasons is just criminal in my mind. All because it's just terrible that they should look at this criteria because they have bad credit because they don't have a job. No, they probably already had a job when they got the bad credit. So but that's New York City for you. New York City is signed legislation is going to say that employers you can't use this particular item to do a means test on a potential new employee. Here's something from watchdog.org. On the lines of Solyndra. Remember Solyndra, the solar panel manufacturing company that went belly up after it got its money from the federal government from Obama? And they weren't the only ones. But here's another interesting thing about, look, I've said that this alternative energy stuff, the technology may be there, but it's not working. And it's not working because government got involved in it too much. And the price it's starting to come down, but it hasn't come down a whole hell of a lot. And with some of these companies going under after getting government money, you got to wonder, does this stuff really work at all? Well, here's something. Surprise solar customers find themselves with liens on their properties, on their homes. Now, yes, Solar City is a solar installation company in Northern California. And this comes out of Northern California. Jeff Lead says installing Solar City's panels on the roof of his home in Northern California city of El Granada was the sorriest day of his life. Now, he's probably a good, down-home, touchy-feely liberal who felt absolutely great that he was getting these solar panels put on his roof to save the planet. However, agreeing to the company's 20-year lease, because they're so darn expensive, I guess, he had to lease the panels, he said was like partnering with the devil. He says he has endured skyrocketing electric bills, installation of an inferior system, and contract violations because Solar City refuses to clean the panels or provide a payment for his system's poor performance. Well, if he's got a roof of these things, how is his electric bill going through the roof? He's leasing these things, but are they charging him for the power that's being generated? I'm not quite clear on that one, but now the latest surprise, a notice from his bank telling him that Solar City had placed a lien on his home and that his equity line of credit application could not proceed until the lien was removed. He says, I was totally surprised by this and very pissed off. When I talked to the bank, they told me it was a lien. I had to pay the bank a $48 fee for lien removal. They held me up for my closing and to buy a vacation home. So, liberal going out there buying a vacation home. Well, that's a no-no. So, but he basically says Solar City says that it is not a lien, but a fixture filing that stakes the company's claim to the panels which it owns if consumers have taken part in its popular lease program. Now, owning the solar electricity generating system allows Solar City to claim lucrative state and federal subsidies available only to system owners. Now, Solar City has received approximately $500 million in tax subsidies and grants over the years. And they're turning around and putting liens on their customers' homes. So, you know what a difficulty that is going to present if a customer tries to go and sell their home? They can't sell it with a lien on it. It's not possible. Law won't allow it. Banks won't allow it. Any kind of lien, you've got to cure the lien. And now, I know some people are going to focus in on the fact that, the bank says they're going to charge $48 to remove that lien. Man, they're just out to get the homeowner, man. They're out to rob his pockets, man, and rob his bank account, man. It's the big banks, man. They're just evil. Well, bank had really nothing to do with it. True, it might seem a little flagrant to ask for $48 to remove something that probably shouldn't be there in the first place. But who put it there? The liberal, touchy-feely solar panel company, Solar City. They're the ones that put it on. Put the lien on. They're the ones saying, well, you can be all touchy-feely green like we are if you want to, but we're all about the money, Jack. I thought liberals weren't about the money. I thought all this environmental stuff wasn't about the money. Evidently it is, because they're getting a hell of a lot of it. And they're getting it from you and me, the taxpayer. But if Solar City were Oil City, you'd have the left all over them about this. And we're all the tax subsidies that the government is giving the oil companies. Well, how about all the tax subsidies that the country is giving solar companies? And many of them are going under, even with the subsidies. How do you fail when you have the government propping you up? I mean, there really isn't a market then. If you cannot make a go of it in a business with the government propping you up, then there truly is no market for your product or service. Plain and simple. I mean, if the government has to prop you up in order for you to stay in business, there probably isn't a market anyway. But even if you cannot make it with a government prop up, there definitely really is no market for your product or service. And if these solar panels are that expensive, there's no market for them. And there's no incentive for them to bring the cost down if we keep propping them up. You get my point? I mean, if Solar City is getting $500,000 or $500 million in tax subsidies and grants, where's the incentive to start bringing the cost of the panels down so people aren't leasing them but can buy them? There is no incentive for that. None. So they're going to continue doing the same thing that they've always done. And no, that's not a good thing. It is not a good thing. It's not a good thing. Well, it is what it is, folks. It really is. And I am out of time for today. We'll be back here tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Don't forget, tomorrow, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. on whatever channel or station that you are currently listening to this program live right now. We will be back here on that same network talking to you live. Don't doubt me. We'll be back. They can't get rid of me yet. See you then, folks.